1800 hours Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Aisha Nayab. First, the headlines. The National Security Committee, which met in Islamabad today with the Prime Minister in the chair, was again informed by the premier security agencies that they have found no evidence of any conspiracy. Prime Minister has stressed the need for going beyond political interests to provide relief to the people. Pakistan and Turkey have reiterated the resolve to transform bilateral relations into strategic partnership. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, Indian troops in their fresh acts of state terrorism martyred 3 more Kashmiri youth in Jammu and Baramulla districts today. The United Nations welcomes announcement of the planned first commercial flight from Yemen Sana'a airport after 6 years. The United Nations Human Rights Office has urged Moscow and Kyiv to order combatants to respect international law. And now the news in detail. 38th meeting of National Security Committee of the Cabinet was held in Islamabad today with the Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif in the chair. The meeting discussed the telegram received from Pakistani Embassy in Washington. Pakistan's former ambassador to the United States, Asad Majid, briefed the committee on the context and content of his telegram. The meeting, after examining the contents of the communication, reaffirmed the decisions of the last NSC meeting. The meeting was again informed by the premier security agencies that they have found no evidence of any conspiracy. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has called for working together to resolve issues faced by the country. Talking to MQM leader Dr. Khalid Maqbool Siddiqui, who called on him in Islamabad today, he said it is need of the hour to go beyond political interests and provide relief to the people. Overall political situation of the country was also discussed in the meeting. Dr. Khalid Maqbool Siddiqui assured the Prime Minister of MQM's full support in tackling the issues faced by the country. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has condemned a terrorist attack on security forces near Khan area of Balochistan. In a statement, he paid a rich tribute to Major Shahid Bashir, who laid his life for the defense of the motherland. The Prime Minister prayed a higher status for the martyred major and early recovery of the injured soldier. He commanded the resolve of the armed forces to foil enemies' designs of sabotaging peace, stability and development in Balochistan. Minister for Railways Khwaja Saad Rafiq has announced a 30% reduction in railway fares during the first 3 days of Eid al-Fitr. Addressing a press conference in Lahore today, he vowed to focus on structural reforms in Pakistan Railways to restore its glory. The minister regretted that various projects were not completed due to the negligence of a previous government. Minister for Information and Broadcasting Maryam Aurangzeb says the parliament will complete its tenure and next general elections will be held on time. In a video statement today, she said people will elect their representatives through free and fair next elections. The Minister for Information said former Prime Minister Imran Khan was removed from his office as per constitution. Maryam Aurangzeb said price hike has reached 16% due to incompetence of the previous government. She reiterated the incumbent government's resolve to address economic challenges of the country. Minister for Poverty Alleviation and Social Safety Shazia Murray says Benazir Income Support Program will be further extended to facilitate more deserving families. Addressing a news conference in Islamabad this evening, she said the program and all its allied projects will be named after Mohtarma Benazir Bhutto. Shazia Murray said there are 16 zonal offices of the program across the country that will be visited soon to see what kind of facilities are available there for the people. She said an appeal mechanism will also be set up at Tehsil and Union Council levels so that the beneficiaries of BISP can register their problems and complaints there. The minister said during the last 4 years, many households were excluded from the program using different filters. However, we will revisit all such cases so that no deserving family remains deprived. This is Radio Pakistan. Speaker National Assembly Raja Parvez Ashraf says Pakistan attaches immense importance to its time-tested and all-weather friendship with Saudi Arabia. Talking to Saudi Ambassador Nawaf bin Saad Al Maliki in Islamabad today, he said Saudi Arabia, being a close friend, has stood by Pakistan in time of need as their brotherly relations are intertwined in bonds of religion, history and culture. The speaker said the two countries' legislatures have also brotherly relations and support each other at international and regional forums. The Saudi ambassador on the occasion agreed to enhance paramilitary parliamentary interaction between legislative bodies of the two countries. Pakistan and Turkey have reiterated the resolve to transform their bilateral relations into strategic partnership. The resolve was expressed during telephonic conversation between Minister of State for Foreign Affairs Hina Rabbani Kar and Minister of Foreign Affairs of Turkey Mevlut Cavusoglu today. The two sides exchanged views on matters of mutual interest and looked forward to collaboration on regional and international issues. Hina Rabbani Kar thanked Mevlut Cavusoglu for felicitating her on assuming the charge of Minister of State for Foreign Affairs. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, Indian troops in their fresh acts of state terrorism martyred 3 more Kashmiri youth in Jammu and Baramulla districts today. The troops martyred 2 youth during a cordon and search operation in Sanjwan area of Jammu district. Earlier, 1 Indian soldier was killed and 9 others were injured in an attack in the same area. The troops during another violent military operation martyred 1 more youth in Pariswani area of Baramulla district, where 3 youths were martyred by the troops yesterday. On the other hand, complete shutdown will be observed in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir on Sunday on the visit of Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Call for the strike has been given by the All-Party Hurriyat Conference to register protest against India's illegal occupation of Jammu and Kashmir. The APHC has also called for anti-India protest demonstrations in Azad Kashmir and in capitals of world major powers by the Kashmiri diaspora against Indian crimes against humanity in occupied Kashmir. Iran has voiced concern over the surge in explosions in Afghanistan. Iranian Foreign Ministry spokesman Saad Khatibzadeh described the targeting of fasting worshipper by the terrorist acts as disgusting. The United Nations has welcomed the announcement of the planned first commercial flight from Yemen's Sana'a airport after 6 years. In a statement, UN spokesman Stefan Dujarric urged all the parties to continue facilitating such flights in line with the truce agreed in the beginning of holy month of Ramadan. The UN spokesman thanked Jordan and the government of Yemen for their constructive role making this happen. The United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has said that he will continue his contacts with all regional and international parties to stop escalation in and around Al-Aqsa Mosque. He expressed these views during his telephonic talk with the Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas. During the telephonic conversation, President Mahmoud Abbas briefed the UN Secretary General on the brutal attacks of the Israeli occupation forces and extremist settlers group at Al-Aqsa Mosque on the daily basis. Meanwhile, at least 31 Palestinians were injured in clashes with Israeli police at Al-Aqsa Mosque compound in Jerusalem today. The United Nations Human Rights Office has urged both Moscow and Kyiv to order combatants to respect international law. In a statement, the Office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights said Russian armed forces have indiscriminately shelled and bombed populated areas in Ukraine, which caused killing of civilians and destruction of civilian infrastructure. It said these actions may amount to war crimes. And finally, the weather. Hot and dry weather is expected in most parts of the country during the next 12 hours. However, rain with wind and thunderstorm is expected in Gilgit-Baltistan, Kashmir and its adjoining hilly areas. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analysis, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan's news.